Hello, my name is Darren. I'm from Grays in Essex, and I'm here just to give you my story about how organ donation has had an impact on my life and what it has done for me. So I'm going to answer some questions, and it will give you an insight as to why organ donation is very important. Okay, not just for me, but for everybody in their lives. So I do hope you enjoy it, and it gives you some kind of inspiration as to why organ donation is important. So the first question is, what type of treatment did I have, and where did I have it? So I had a heart transplant back in 2018, November 2018 to be precise. I had it at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital in Birmingham. And now you're probably wondering why I had it so far away from home. Bearing in mind I live in Essex. In 2015, I was diagnosed with an underlying health condition called amyloidosis. So this is a condition which it can affect any one of your organs. And for me, it affected my heart. So basically, it makes it ineffective. So it doesn't make that organ work to its full capacity, which was happening to me. So during the time of 2015 up until 2018, the condition began to progress. It's starting to deteriorate, me actually living, which is where, when 2018 came, is where I really knew about it, because that's when everything happened. So early 2018 then, April, I had a cardiac arrest. Now, I had a cardiac arrest at home, where my wife was able to do CPR on me, and as well as talking to the emergency services and getting advice of them. So without her acting so quickly and swiftly, bearing in mind she has no medical experience, she just acted on impulse, and this is the main reason why I'm still here. So she got me through it. The paramedics turned up and they got me through it. I got to Basildon Hospital, and it didn't stop there. I was in that Basildon Hospital from April up until July, so quite a long time in hospital. But during that time, I had two more cardiac arrests on separate incidents, separate occasions. And again, the hospital staff came to my rescue and kept me here. And there must be a reason why I'm still here, because statistics do show that survival rates of someone having a cardiac arrest is about a 1 in 3, 1 in 4 chance. I've had 3 and I'm still here, so I couldn't thank my wife, the hospital staff at Basildon anymore, really. They've done a wonderful job. So from there, then I obviously, because of the cardiac arrests, my heart had been severely damaged, which my consultant in the Royal Free Hospital had told me. And he said, because it's so damaged, I think you're going to need a heart transplant. I was quite shocked, really, because it was something which we always spoke about, but it was always dismissed. But he said it, and it was lots of emotions when he said it, and I couldn't believe it. So he referred me to Birmingham, and before you actually considered, you have to have a pre-assessment, basically. So you have to have an assessment. It takes about a week to do, and we had to go up there in October 2018 for this assessment for a week. The reason why I had to go to Birmingham, because my team, that is where they're based for my condition. Any kind of invasive treatment, I had to go to Birmingham, and this type of treatment, my heart transplant, was where it would be done. So after spending a week in Birmingham Hospital through my vigorous assessment for my heart transplant, I then went home. Within that week, I got a decision stating that I qualified to have a heart transplant. And the list I'd be going on would be the urgent list, which was quite something. I thought, well, this must be serious. If they're putting me on the urgent list, they want it done very quickly. I knew my time is short, and I was just thanking every minute of life I had left before I got to this transplant. So I spent 2 weeks at home waiting because on the urgent list, you must become an inpatient. So as soon as a heart becomes available, you're ready and waiting to go. Because of the bed situation, I spent 2 weeks at home waiting for a bed to get into Birmingham. After the 2 weeks, I got a call about 8 o'clock in the evening, believe it or not, saying that there's a bed become available and I must make my way to Birmingham Hospital. Bearing in mind, Birmingham is about 150 miles away, and I live in Essex. So off we went, me, my wife, and a very good friend of mine. They took me to Birmingham. It was quite an emotional experience for me because I didn't know when I'll be coming back home, because having a transplant, it's not planned. It's as and when an organ comes in. So got me there. I made myself at home at Birmingham. I brought everything down with me, my laptop, some little treats, some homely things really, because that's where I'll be for the foreseeable future. So within my first week, believe it or not, I got a first offer of a donation of a donated heart. I was on a nil by mouth for about 17 hours, and about 4:30 in the morning, the following morning, they came to me and said, unfortunately, the heart has been rejected. On these occasions, lots of patients are quite emotional and are disappointed because they think, well, they were that close to being given that new leash of life. For me, I took it the other way. I thought, but it's not meant to be. It gave me a bit more confidence because organs go through vigorous testing. And for them to come back and say it wasn't a heart which was suitable or didn't pass the tests gave me more confidence that the heart, what will come, is going to be a healthy heart. So I took it in my stride. All I really wanted afterwards, because I hadn't eaten, was a hot chocolate so I can get back to bed, believe it or not. So I waited again. The following week, another heart became available. So this time, successfully, this heart was a good heart. I was told I'd be having the operation that same evening, and I was to get myself ready. So, which I did. I rang my wife, I rang my family and told them. The staff got me prepared. I was quite happy about it because I knew this was the end of it now. What's going to be done to me is going to be my new leash of life. So I remember quite clearly being in the anaesthetist room, getting prodded with needles, getting stuff put on me, and me having a general conversation about anything. I wasn't apprehensive. I took it all in my stride, and it went so smoothly. I was on the operating table for 4 hours. There was no problems, no complications at all. My recovery has been fantastic. I've had no rejections from my new heart. They do vigorous tests after your operation. So you go there every week just to test your blood and have heart biopsies to make sure there's no rejections. And to date, I've had none at all. So this was meant to be for me. I've got my life back. Yes, so organ donation for me, that's been my journey basically. I couldn't thank everyone, and especially, most importantly, my organ donation family, my donating family. They're extended family to me, and that's what I call them, because at this stage of my life, they have been a massive impact. So I can't thank them enough, really. So the next question then is, have I ever been on the organ donation register, and for how long? I think I have, very vaguely, because I remember having the old way was you had to carry a card around with you, and that would state to anybody in the event of death that you wish to donate your organs. But I can't sincerely say yes. It was a subject which wasn't really spoken about, which is quite important nowadays that it should be spoken about. But I think I was, yeah. So, have I ever given blood prior to my treatment? Like I said, I've never given blood. It's never been something I've really spoken about, really. It's never been something that's crossed my mind to give blood. But what I have actually been through now, um, I definitely would recommend it. I would like to I'm on the organ donation register now. So, because it's all changed now, it's an opt-in system. So I'm all for blood and organ donation um, registers. So it's definitely something I'll be in for now. So name something you were looking forward to after your recovery. Um, I tell you what, my life got taken away from me like the click of a finger. Um, I was at the prison service for 18 years as a gym instructor. So I was heavily into fitness, very active, very sociable person. I'm a family person. And at the click of a finger, when I got diagnosed with my condition, I'd been working 40 hours for 18 years, every single day, probably more, uh, 40 hours a week. And I was told not to work again. So for 3 years, from 2015, um, I had not been working. I was just at home. During that time, walking, breathing, and eating had become a struggle. And it was these little small things what lots of people take for granted. And when you go through trauma in your life and they're taken away from you, they're very important things. And you have to be so thankful when you can walk down the end of your road without being out of breath. You can have a run without being out of breath. You can go to the shower and shower yourself without any help. All these things were taken away from me during the years, that time when I was really sick. So it was basically getting back to normality and really looking at stuff where I've always said I want to do, but put it on hold. So my thing was just to get back to normal living and having to be able to do things what I really want to do. So finally then, what would I say to encourage people to register to donate their organs or to give blood? Well, hopefully my talk and my experience from organ donation really it shouldn't even be thought about. It should be spoken about, definitely. So family is all in the know that what your wishes are, because you just never know what could happen. Um, and when we all go, which one day we all have to, your organs can save people's lives. It changes their lives. My life has changed, from what it used to be. Um, my life has, I've been given that second chance of life, which I'm so grateful for. And the new system now of having everybody opting in is the best way. We know that we are short of organ donators. There are people in hospitals awaiting organ donation, and they're on time limiting conditions. And time is of the essence when you're actually in hospital waiting an organ donation. So the more people on these lists, the better it is for everybody. When you pass away, your legacy will still live on into someone else's body. And, I can't thank my donating family enough. Their legacy is within me. I have a connection. We write to each other. and we correspond in that way, and it's amazing. Every time I read their letters, it's a beautiful experience. It's a second journey which takes you to another level as it opens up your eyes to of that different kind of world. So organ donation is speak about it with your family and what you want to do. Um, the law has changed. It changed from this year, 2020, May 2020, the 20th, and everybody is opting in. So at the end of this, I'm going to read out the opt-in speech so everyone is clear of how it actually works. So, as of the 20th of May 2020, organ donation law, sometimes referred as the Max and Kira's law, has changed to an opt-out system. So this means that if you are not in an excluded group and have not confirmed whether you want to be an organ donor, either by recording a decision on the NHS organ donating register or by speaking to friends and family, it will be considered that you agree to donate your organs when you die. You still have a choice about whether or not you wish to become an organ donor, and by your faith, beliefs, and culture will continue to be respected. So get the facts about organ donation to help you decide. Visit the NHS organ donation website, which is at www.organdonation.nhs.uk. Thank you for listening, and I hope my story has asked you to say, yes, I donate.